Hey guys, welcome to the Bourboneering YouTube channel. Today I'm talking about Cadee Distillery. Let's get started. Alright guys, so today I'm starting a new kind of series focusing more on craft distilleries or just smaller distilleries in general, and doing a focus on the actual distillery and their process and a little bit of their product as well. This started all started out because I found this whiskey I've never heard of. This Deceptivus. It's a bourbon whiskey finished in port barrels from the Cadee Distillery. I found a little store, never heard of it. I talked to a few people in the Bourbon Society in Baton Rouge. They had never heard of it. So I decided to do some more research. I tasted it. It was great. I posted about it on my Instagram channel, and someone from the distillery actually reached out to me and asked me some questions and offered some more background and details. So I told them, I want to do a review on YouTube and make a video about it. So I got some great information about the distillery and about the whiskey, and I'm going to share it with you today. And it's going to be a new series focusing on different distilleries, especially smaller ones. That being said, if you have any small distilleries, or you are a small distillery, or know of any you want me to talk about, let me know on comment below or on Instagram or anything like that. Anyway, let's get started with this distillery. So I'm enjoying some of their bourbon right now, and we'll do a review on that at the end here. So the distillery, Cadee Distillery, it's located on the Isle of Whidbey, which is an island off of Washington State, and it's right now the only island distillery in America, or the one whiskey distillery at least, kind of in the tradition of Scotland, like Islay and different things, where they actually have distilleries on the coast or on an island. And I'm about to get into their process and how that helps them, but it's kind of unique. In fact, I hope I'm getting this right. Cadee is Gaelic, Scottish Gaelic for pure and clean, I believe, which is very cool. So a little bit background on them. They're relatively new. Their master distiller is actually from Scotland. He has an engineering background, and he wanted to. He's a little bit older later in life, and he wanted to create a distillery, so he came to America to do that. Again, this is a rough background, but it sounds like an awesome idea. Just in your retirement, just start a distillery. And obviously they have a bourbon, rye. I believe they have 5 releases currently. The only ones I can get my hand on was this one, which is their bourbon in a port finished barrel. But anyway, so they have that Scotch background of have a Scottish master distiller, as well as kind of in the island area, the island idea that you see in Scotland. And the whole idea there is there's large shifts in barometric pressures throughout the days and throughout the weeks, which really help the barrel ingest and release the whiskey in the barrel, which is, how bourbon gets its wood flavor is when it gets cold, when it gets hot, it gets sucked up into the wood, and when it gets cold, it kind of presses out. Same thing happens with pressure shifts. And so their claim to fame, they can have I would say, a younger whiskey with more character than its age might show. One thing the man I was talking to would talk about is, 1 year at, on an island with the barometric pressure is like, I believe you want to say it was like 2 years or 3 years, something like that, in America for like a Kentucky bourbon or Indiana. And it's like 3 or 4 years. I could be getting these numbers wrong. I should have written it down. But the point is, you can get a lot more character in a shorter amount of time. They said they lose a lot to the angel share, which makes sense with all the wood moving with barometric pressure shifts. So that's kind of their process. They have not only the barometric pressure shifts, but because they're on an island near the salty sea, they kind of get the character from the sea, like you would in some scotches. A little more, a few more salty notes maybe. Just that kind of the kind of sea influence. All their water is from a purified still there on the island. It's very, like their name suggests, very clean and very pure. It's kind of their own little haven. They believe it's going to be the new wave of American whiskey, that kind of distillation process. Right now, everything's been located inland in Kentucky, which has temperature shifts, but maybe not as much of a barometric pressure shift, and even less so in Indiana with like MGP and things like that. But anyway, so that's about the distillery. They're great guys. They reach out to me, are more than happy to give me information. You should definitely check it out if they're available in your area. If not, let them know you want it. Maybe they can get you get some distribution going in your state soon. Thanks again to those guys at Cadee Distillery for reaching out, and thank you for filling me out on this information. I've never heard of it before. But anyway, before I talk more about that, I'm going to actually review this bottle. But I want to remind you that you use the link in my description below, as well as using promo code Bourboneer. You can get 8% off at Prestige Decanters. You get a glass like this, which I do all my tastings in. You can also get decanters. They're beautiful decanters, lead-free crystal, beautiful, will last you a lifetime. And that's 8% off using promo code Bourboneer in the link in my description below. All right, so let's talk about this bourbon here. This is called Deceptivus. This is one of their, I believe, 5 releases. Now, from talking with a distillery, turns out this bottle I got is actually an older bottle. So, a little bit about this. It is it's straight bourbon finished in imported Portuguese port barrels. It's 42.5% alcohol, so that's 85 proof. Now this bottle itself has an age statement. It says a minimum of 2 years, then double barrel finished in a 20-year-old imported port barrel. What they release now, this Deceptivus now, is at least 3 to 4 years. This one may be a little bit younger, and it's usually it spends about 11 to 12 months in the port barrel after those 3 to 4 years. So even more so than what I have here, it's going to be, a pretty good age bourbon wherever you are, especially with their process. And you notice the color, if you can see that, how dark it is. That's all natural color. They don't add any coloring, obviously. And a lot of that comes from the port barrel for sure. But a lot of that comes from the barometric pressure shifts, getting that extra oak influence. All right, let's try it. On the nose, the port sticks out berry, strawberry, some cherry notes. Kind of a lighter and a darker fruit nose. But the vanilla oak really sticks out. Sweet. Like a brown sugar. Lots of oak for being 2 years old. And I'm not sure how long this one's been in the port barrel. It could be up to 12 months like the newer bottles are. There's a lot of oak influence there for 2 years old. Lots of it. And that's, again, their process, which I think is really cool. They're, the shifts in barometric pressure. Or it could be the 12 months in the port barrel. The port is there. It's definitely the backbone berry flavor. But it's not up front in the taste as is in the nose. It kind of tamps down the barrel bitterness. So it's not being over oaked. But it's definitely got some dark fruit, dark kernel, almost like a Cabernet notes in the back end of the taste there. On the finish, let me try it one more time. Long oaky finish. It's almost like a cab, completely on the back end. Oaky finish, dark fruits, dark fruits, jellies. Not as light as on the nose and up front in the taste. When I, right off the tongue, get a lot of vanilla and oak and light strawberry. And the back end's all dark fruit, all dark oak. That's really good. I'm very, very impressed by this bottle. Again, I paid about, I think, $45 for it. I don't know what their MSRP is. That's why I paid for this bottle. Totally worth it, in my opinion. Taking for my rating system, taking into account the price, how it tastes for the age, and the cool story behind it, I'm gonna have to give it a 4. Only reason keeping me from being higher is the price. and obviously the availability is really tough around here. It's not even technically not available in Louisiana yet. Um, the store I bought it from, we're not sure how they got the bottle, but it's technically not available in Louisiana yet. That's what's keeping it from being higher. And the price, I think it's a good price point. I would definitely pay for it again at $45. Again, I don't know the MSRP. It could be less than that. It could be more for all I know. But it's very well made for the age. It's definitely craft. It's not like anything. There's no common underlying note that you get in like a lot of bigger bourbons. But I love it. I'm going to keep this bottle around. I'm hopefully going to get my hands on some more bottles in the future. Hopefully they're coming to Louisiana soon. If not, I'm going to make a trip somewhere they do distribute to. Again, thanks to Cadee Distillery for reaching out. Check them out. Their website is CadeeDistillery.com. I just want to make sure I got that right. They're from the city of Clinton, Washington. Excuse me, Clinton, Washington, and on the Whidbey Island. Very cool, y'all. Very awesome. Thank y'all again. Again, if you have any other distillers you want me to talk about more on the show in the future, let me know. Comment below. Let me know on Instagram and DM me. Comment something on my pictures. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love to get that subscriber count up. Hit the notification bell when I post. I will be posting every weekend for a weekend review. This Distillery Insider here, I don't know how often it's going to be. Hopefully, if I get a lot going, I can make it weekly. If not, maybe monthly. It's not going to be a regular scheduled program for now. But I'm going to do videos like that. I might do some beer reviews, different things like that on an irregular basis. Check me out if you like it. Let me know if you don't. Let me know. Tell me what you think about it. Again, thank you, Cadee Distillery. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Go follow me on Instagram right now. I got a giveaway going. I'm trying to support some local Louisiana distilleries. Go like and comment on that post and go follow me on Instagram and get a chance to win a Louisiana bourbon mini flight, 2 different samples. So go check that out. Instagram is linked below, but I'm also it's at Bourboneering on Instagram and at InBourbon on Twitter. So go check that out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want a glass like I use on the show or a beautiful decanter, go to the link below for Prestige Decanters. Use promo code Bourboneer and you'll get 8% off your order. Follow me on Instagram at Bourboneering or on Twitter at InBourbon. Cheers, y'all.